All right, guys, we are recording. I'm going to go ahead and cut the music. We'll begin with our balance exercises today, and then a fun coordination drill that's going to require a slight cognitive challenge as well as progressive balance challenges. So this is going to be a really fun, packed class. All right, guys, off we go. And everyone has their chair, surrounding area clear, and we're ready to go. We're muting now. All right, and I was reticent to say during my housekeeping, you will need your bands and your weights today, as well as your mats. All right. Chair handy by. We're going to begin in our tandem stance. So, foot right in front of the other foot, arms across the chest. We'll close our eyes, and I'll count you down from 20. Let's begin. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And we'll switch. Nice straight tandem. Off we go, guys. Close your eyes, please. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Our balance challenge today is going to include some eye tracking movements. So we'll be doing some progressive stances. Pardon me. So first with your feet right tight together. And I would only do this with you because we've done so many balance challenges. I know that you can successfully accomplish this next task. We're going to begin this feet narrow stance, hand right out in front of you. You're going to point one finger or thumb up in front of you. We're going to add some eye tracking to this. So for today's eye tracking exercise, we're going to move our hand to the side, from one side to the other slowly. Slowly. Okay, so we're not going to a fast saccades rhythm, but a nice slow rhythm, okay? Now, without moving your head, you're going to begin tracking with just your eyes. This is kind of difficult. It's difficult for me anyway. Just keep that finger in clear vision and only go so far as it stays in clear vision. When it starts to get too far out in the periphery, you'll know it. You won't be able to quite follow it without really trying to turn your head. So just take it to that extreme. And again, nice and slow. All right, now, and also, if your shoulder gets tired, please feel free to switch your hands, your pointer hands. So now, we're going to try a different stance. We're going to try this with the tandem stance. Please be aware that every time we change our stance, it's going to progress the challenge. So keep your chair handy by, and by all means, stay safe. You never know when you might lose your balance. All right. So here we go. Finger right up in front, and again, slow. And I don't know about you, but for me, this is at least 50% more challenging. I was practicing this morning, and I was quite surprised by how just that change in stance could be so challenging. And try it with your other foot forward. So if you're like me, chances are you start with your dominant foot forward. And you can go in either direction, you know. And again, just trying to track with just your eyes. But we do want to challenge. We do want to throw ourselves off. Therein lies our improvement. When you get good at it, or when you feel more comfortable with it, let's put it that way. I don't think anybody ever really gets good at it. Feel free to speed it up. That will make it more challenging. And then it becomes more saccades-like. All right, so the final challenge is a one-leg stance, guys. Pick a leg, any leg. We're going to do both. So you may want to start on your non-dominant leg and then get it over with. Here we go. Tracking with the eyes. Again, keeping that chair handy by. You can always drop that foot down. Very challenging, right? And just keep going. There's a lot going on down there with those sensory receptors in the bottom of your foot. And there's a lot going on with your nervous system right now. There, try the other side. And again, don't feel like a failure. If you do lose your balance, it's all good. You want to be able to catch yourself and right yourself. And these challenges, of course, are really good for you. All right, I'm going to move my chair out of the way. We're going to start with our coordination exercise next. A little brain challenge for you. Okay, so if I can remember what it is. Okay, yes, we have done this one before. So it starts with a hand jive, a little bit different than the hand jive we did last week. This one involves a push, a clap, a push, a clap, 2 slaps, and 2 claps. So it's push, clap, 2 slaps, 2 claps. And we'll speed it up a little bit. And I'm going to add a cognitive challenge. You folks are all on mute. You don't have to worry. Nobody's going to hear you. Feel free to speak out loud, except for Linda and Dawn, of course. You're in the same household. I expect you'll be able to hear one another. Oh, maybe not. Selective hearing, Dawn. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to give you a verbal preview of what we're going to do next. We're going to resume our hand jive. And with our hand jive, simple cognitive challenge, we're going to count up from in digits of single digits in succession all the way up. I believe it's 8 counts, right? And then we'll count backwards. Okay? So we're going to count from 1 to 8. We're going to do that 2 times. And then we're going to count from 8 to 1. And we're going to do that 2 times. All the while trying to keep up the rhythm of our hand jive and, trying to keep it honest and fresh and clean. All right. So I'm going to do the first couple with you. And then I am going to step myself out so that you are not getting a visual, right? Because if you can see me do it, you're just going to mimic me, right? I want you to be able to think and be able to produce those motor movements with that cognitive challenge on your own. So I'll be doing the first 2 with you, and then I'll be stepping out. All right? So let's practice 1 to 8 in succession at approximately the same tempo that we had. Let's begin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now 8 backwards, and you are on your own. Okay, hold it for a moment. Now you're counting up by 2s. Up by 2s. Ready? Begin. Already getting more difficult. Keep trying. It gets easier. Good. Hold it. Now please count backwards by twos. Trying to maintain that honest hand jive. Let me see you do this. Not so easy. Yep, feel free to pause, slow it down, whatever you need to do to be able to process and keep that up. Okay, all right. So I can see that is challenging enough right there. I was going to take that another step further, and Friday I will. So you might want to practice. Yes, indeed. You might want to practice your hand jive. We will step up the game on Friday. It does get easier with practice. Just memorize those movements and challenge yourself. Perhaps you want to spell your name frontwards and backwards, or a color, or pick anything, a slight cognitive challenge, and make it fun. That will be your homework. All right, let's begin our cardiovascular workout now. And remember, guys, the objective is not to be perfect at all. The objective is to challenge and to grow more neurons, more brain cells. All right. Is the volume of the music okay? Thank you, Wendy. Is my volume okay? Clear. Beautiful. Let's start with a march in place. You guys are such great sports. I appreciate your patience with the technology and the recording. Good. March your feet a little wider apart. Hold it here. Mini squat. Down and up. Sitting back and down. I'm going to turn sideways so that you can see that my knees are going to stay proximally tracking over my ankles, over my shoelaces. Good, let's do 4 more. Coming up out of our squat, let's add a calf raise. Squat, calf raise. Squat, calf raise. Good, a couple more. So we're not squatting too deep, right? We're just warming up. So it's like a little third of a squat. Perfect. Good. Angel arms, just the arms. Nice and slow. If this causes any problems with your shoulders, you guys know how to modify this by using partial range of motion, bringing your arms in front, rotating your hands to the side, thumbs up, what have you. Try everything you can to avoid pain. Good, lateral raise tempo. Roll the shoulders back. Marching, here we go. Pumping our arms, driving the elbows directly back behind you. Perfect. So Les, I don't know if you noticed yesterday in the parade, but those gentlemen in the uniforms, all those service people marching with those heavy flags and those heavy black uniforms, I just wanted to go give them all a bag of ice. It was so hot. But did you notice that they were marching like this? They were high stepping. It was quite nice. I think I got a couple good photographs. Here we go. Frontal raise, tempo. Low row. Chest press. All of these things will be coming into play later with our weights and bands. And if you can, overhead press. Good. Just march. In a moment, we're going to be taking this march on the road, forward and back. Waiting on the music. 5, 6, 7. Bring it forward. 1, 2, 3. Tap and back. Hustle walk. And again. Good. Hold it here. March out wide. And up and in. Back out wide. 8 counts. And up and in. Now in 4 counts. 2 more sets. And then deuces or wild. 2. Good. Okay. Oh, sorry about that music skip. I'm sorry. So deuces or wild, we're going to be doing 2 on each side. Starting on your left and right. What's a recording without a glitch? You can pretty much bet on it. Good. Singles, please. Left and right. And if you can't quite get that footing, don't worry about it. Don't worry about what side you're doing. Just keep moving. This is, of course, your alternating V-step, right? Taking it back to a march in place. All right, so we're going to be putting that forward and back march and that alternating V-step together. I'm waiting on the music. Here we go. 5, 6, 7, bring it up. Hustle walk. And again. Lovely alternating V's, 1 and 1. And again. Beautiful. From the top, hustle walk. And back. Repeat. Alternating V-step. Again. Now you know how this goes, so let's cut it in half. Bring it up. Tap, back. Alternating V. 1 time each side. Up and back. So the changes occur now much more quickly, and of course that requires faster processing speed in order to keep up with this fast music. Good, and again. And then get ready for a change up. Good. Now, just up. Hold it here, 3 V's. You are on your right lead. I warned you, take it back. Tap, 3 V's. You are now on your left lead. Good. Up and repeat. 3. And back. 3. So now you can kind of see how this goes. And you can also appreciate how important that tap is to help you alternate those leads. And up we go. Tap and 3, 2, 1. You're going back right and tap. 3. That requires a little bit of focus. We are going to be salting this down or reducing it. So I want you to get this and nail it. All right, here we go. Ready? Changes are going to happen quicker. Bring it forward. 1V. Take it back. 1V. Bring it up. Left, tap, you're on your right. Back right, tap, you're on your left. Got a couple more. This is the first part of your first pattern. You're doing great. Good. One more time, up and back. You look great. You must feel great. Hold it here, step touch. Working on part 2. 2 steps. Repeat. Okay, now it's going to get a little fancy. I want you to dig in. Bend your knees, down and up a bit. Just a bit. Requires a little more energy. You can put as much or as little as you like into it. I want you to exercise your options. One more like this. Good. Now, if you want, progress it by coming forward. Try to chew up some of that floor. Make the most of that environment and use it to your advantage. And again, scoop. We'll call this the double scoop because it is that kind of day. It is a double scoop day. Hold it here and march it out, please. So that is part 2 of your combination. So let's review from the top. Forward on your left lead, 1, 2, 3, tap, 1 V step right. Back on your right lead, tap, 1 V step, left lead. Double scoop up and back, and we'll repeat that double scoop move 2 times. Everybody got it? Yes. Okay, thank you, Les. Let's begin. Here we go. Up, V step. Take it back. V step. Double scoop. Lovely. Up again, double scoop. And back. Here we go. Bring it up. Part 1. I should call it A of part 1, right? Scoop. And back. Ready? Part A. And back. Double scoop. And back. And repeat. We're going to do this 2 more times all the way through. I want you to get comfortable. Double scoop. How sweet it is. Opportunity here. Up we go. So. Oh yeah. You knew that was coming, right? Double scoop. Just a nice complimentary horizontal tricep extension. Here we go. Bring it up. Here's your right lead. Here's your left lead. And part B. One more time. You're looking great. So proud of you guys. Double scoop. You're going to earn it. Nice job, nice job. March it out. Everybody good? It is very humid, so feel free to stop and drink some water at any moment if you need to do that. Hydrate, hydrate. The evaporation on our skin is hampered today, and we definitely don't want to overheat, and your hydration will help you not do that. Okay, so we have, for our part 2, a bit of a rhythm change. So let's try our V step with this rhythm change. Please let me preview it verbally for you. You'll be going up on your left foot for 2 beats, then your right foot for 2 beats, and then you'll be marching back up tempo. We'll repeat that with your right lead. We good? Let's just do it. Here we go. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, back, 6, other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, back, 6, other side. Yeah, sure, yeah. So some of you need the visual preview, so you stop and watch because, right, some of us learn a lot better that way. Good, so it's up and up. Now you can really make this athletic and lunge, right? It can be a lunge and a back tempo. Or it can be a wide V step where you step into that sumo squat. Just alternate side to side. And if you're really getting that high knee down there and lowering that center of gravity, you're gonna get just as breathless as I am. Good. One more set each side. Good, march it out and recover. That is the A part of your second pattern. So A of 2, part 2. I made B very simple for you. Double scoop up, double scoop back. And that will complete pattern number 2 for you. All right, so tempo change V step with our double scoop on 5, 6, 7, 8. Repeat this side. Double scoop up. Hops are optional. Tempo change, go. Back. Give me the scoop. And again, the center of gravity changes are going to make this a little bit more challenging from a cardiovascular perspective. Other side. Double scoop, here we go. And my phone is ringing. Of course it is. And again, repeat. Other side. Double scoop. And back. And again, this is part 2. One more time. Double your pleasure, double your fun. And other side. Scoop it up. Here we go. And back we go. March it out right here. Hold it right here. Somebody is leaving me a detailed voicemail message. I apologize for that, and I hope that's not coming over. Can you guys hear that? Oh, good. Thank you. Okay. Phew. All right. Thank you. That's all we need is one more thing to blow this up video recording opportunity, right? All right. All right. I'm over it. All right. So we have part 1 and we have part 2. And naturally, 1 and 2 just go together like milk and Oreos. We got to do this. Starting with our march 2, 3 up with our tap on the 4th count. V step, you know the drill. The double scoop part, that's easy, common denominator. On 5 and 6 and 7 and 8, part 1. Give me the scoop. Are we ready for part 2? You just learned it. Beautiful. Double up. And back. Back to part 1. Here we go. And back. Finish out part 1. Scoop. You're doing great. Part 1 again, you guys. We're running through it. You are doing it. Double. You will never think of a double scoop the same again. I'm happy to say. Double scoop. We're going to run through it again one more time, guys. That'll give us 4 all the way through. Part 1. Don't forget the arms. Putting it all together. You guys are great. Lovely, lovely. Part 2. Good, march it out. Wipe the sweat off your brow. Nice job. All right, everyone, please drink some water. Keep moving. I'm going to lead you through a little bit of a slower pattern so that we can bring that heart rate down, relax our emotional energy a little bit as well. All right, starting with a step touch. Please feel free to drink that water. Stay very hydrated. You may want to squirt some lemon juice in there or a little bit of salt and sugar for electrolytes because you're sweating all that stuff out. Step touch. Good. Nice and slow now. Tapping back behind you. Back. Back. Please don't step too far, but try to get your heel down back there. Can you touch your heel to the floor for that dynamic outer calf stretch? Keep it going, please. We're going to hold it just a little longer. So step back left and hold. 4, 3, 2, together, and 4, 3, 2, and lovely. So the heel is down. You've got a little bit of an incline with the body. Nice and straight line from the head to the heel though, right? Good. March it out. Please have your chairs, bands, and weights and mats at the ready. We're ready to begin our resistance training portion of the program today. You guys did fantastic. You will notice that your heart rate will elevate even higher when you're exercising on a hot day. And that's because your heart's not only your fuel pump, your heart is also your water pump. And your heart is circulating all that hot blood from this core that got heated up from the exercise, right? Because one of the byproducts of exercise is heat, right? Carbon dioxide, water, and heat, right? If it's aerobic exercise. So the byproduct has to be distributed throughout the body. It has to be taken away from the core. Your core likes to be a certain temperature, doesn't it? Yeah, Susan knows what that temperature is. 98.6, right? Or thereabouts. And although mine is usually 96.8, there's a bit of trivia for you. So when you exercise, that internal core temperature will rise. And your heart has to pump the fluid, the blood, all that plasma and all that water in your blood from that hot core, just like the Earth's hot core, out to the periphery, where it is cooled because the temperature is not 98, nowhere near it, right? So it's cooled by the evaporation of the sweat on your skin. That cool blood is circulated back to your core to help bring that temperature back down. Isn't that amazing? Fuel pump, water pump. A lot of good stuff about your heart. You want to take good care of it, and you guys are doing that, so congratulations. Cheers. So we're going to begin today with our squat, naturally. We're going to have our chair for safety. Now remember, if it's too hard for you to squat from a standing position and barely light on your chair and pop back up, you can always sit down and get back up. You could also start from a seated position rather than standing and simply stand up without using your hands, with your weights in your hands. So they're busy, right? So you can't use them. All right, so 15 repetitions on our squat. Feet are hip width or a little wider apart. Toes are turned out, whatever is natural for you. For some people, it's anywhere 10 to 15 degrees. And we're going to make sure that the abdominal muscles, the back muscles, the neck muscles are all bracing so that we can keep that trunk nice and upright and that airway open. All right, here we go. Squatting down for 2 counts and up for 2 counts. And again, if you need to sit down, if your legs are tired from all that cardio and you need to sit down, by all means, you go right ahead. If you need to take a break, you do that too. Just count your reps. Next time, try to do 1 or 2 more. And we grow, and we get stronger, and we progress. Doesn't matter our age, doesn't matter our walk of life, our gender. We are all trainable. Body, mind, and soul. Good. So the knees are honest, right? Over the shoelaces. Thighs, glutes, barely touching the chair. All right. There we go. And up. So next is our bent over row. So go ahead and place, still using the chair and the weights, place both weights in one hand. We'll be using our chair very similarly to a weight bench with one knee and one hand on the chair. Keeping our front foot close to the chair. Our foot's right underneath the hip. We're going to lift 2 beats and lower. Lift 2 beats and lower. Keep it going. And again, the core, the abdominal muscles, the pelvic floor, the back muscles, the shoulder muscles, I should say shoulder girdle muscles, and the neck muscles are all bracing to keep our posture nice and neutral. Keep our spine in neutral. Trying not to hold our breath. We're going to breathe through these movements, particularly if you have a heavy weight and you're straining. You may be tempted to hold your breath, but we want to try to avoid that because that will spike our blood pressure and also make your heart race. It'll stimulate more of those fight or flight chemicals. 15 reps. Are we there yet? Okay, let's switch sides. You let me know when we get there. Susan, I'll count on you to count because you're so good at it. If we do a few extra, guys, well, it's just in our favor, right? Working on that muscular endurance. But it also means we need heavier weights. Isn't that a wonderful thing? Good. Nice and strong across the top of the back. We don't want any hunched shoulders or posture. None of that kyphosis. I like to think about balancing a dowel across my shoulder blades or a plate of peas. All right. Susan says that's 15. Thank you, Susan. All right. So we're going to be switching over to our bands next. So let's replace our weights with our bands. And now you will not need your chair, so you can go ahead and move your chair out of the way. The next exercise is the lat pull down. So we're going to use a nice strong band because these big back muscles are very strong. Your angel wings, they're going to have to fly you to heaven. They got to be strong. Here we go. Nice strong V. Give me a nice sharp, strong W. Choke up as you need to, and I know sweaty hands make that difficult. You can always wrap your band if that's okay with your hand. I prefer not to. I don't like that feeling of that constriction on my hand, especially with this heavy band. So I just do the best I can with my grip, which, by the way, is great for your forearms. I think we're a third of the way there. But you know me, I can't count. I think we're halfway there. Don't worry, guys. Susan's got you. Susan says we're at 15. Are we at 15? Yeah, we're at 15. Okay, great. Thank you, Susan. All right. So, capitalizing again on the chest and leg muscles, we're going to go into an alternating lunge with a chest press. So please wrap your band around your midriff. Again, there's a word that we don't hear very often these days. We'll be right around the bra line for us women. Just under the shoulder blade for you guys. All right, get a good grip. You're going to need it. Those chest muscles are also very strong, thanks to all those push-ups you've been doing. And all that exercise I know you did last week while I was on vacation. Okay, alternating lunge with a chest press, starting with cactus arms, parallel to the floor, hip width stance, braced core, chin back, please. Let's press, return, alternate, press, return. And again, press and return. Press and return. Now, we're going to have to do 16, Susan, because we got to, do 8 on one side and 8 on the other side. Thank you. Keep going. Nice and wide, right? Landing safely, softly, heel ball, toe on that lunge. Arms are fully extended out in front of you. Go from that nice 90-degree square angle to that nice straight line right there. Boom. Keep going. Susan, are we at 16 now? Okay, I thought so. Hey, what do you know, guys? I can count after all. Can you believe it? Great job. Okay, now that we've warmed that chest up, worked our legs for our second set, we're going to take it down to the floor. We're going to do some push-ups, followed by bird dogs. Now, if you're not comfortable getting down onto the mat, you can use your table counter or a chair up against a wall for the push-ups. That would narrow your grip and actually make them more difficult. Whatever your pleasure, guys. You know the modifications as well as I do at this point, and I trust you to exercise your options. Push-ups. 15 repetitions. All right. Adjusting my mat and adjusting my camera because I feel like I'm out in left field here. All right. So again, 15 push-ups followed by our bird dog. Let's begin. Hands and knees position for those of you who want modified. We're not going to rest directly on the kneecap. We're going to push or extend the body over the hands. Hands are shoulder width apart. And when you're ready, 15, 14. Those of you who want a challenge, you can pop up onto the toes. 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Back into down dog. Get that stretch. And you can do a standing version wherever you're at. All right. Working the length of the spine now with bird dog. Hands in knees position. Hands are right under the shoulders. Knees right under the hips. Balance on your right leg and your left arm, and lift your right hand and your left leg, right arm I should say, and extend and hold. Come down smoothly, solidly, and with minimal shifting and listing. No twisting. Reach and extend now. Left arm, right leg. Bracing through the abdominals. We don't want to sway our lower back. We want to try to keep the beautiful protected S-curves in our spine. By bracing, putting our mind into our muscle. Again, working the length of the spine. Keep going. Bird dog. Reach, stretch. It feels so good. Now, some of you will have difficulty getting that arm straight up toward the ceiling. Again, just do what you can. Please don't work through any pain. Stop and or modify. You could reach your arm outward slightly. You could minimize the range of motion. Again, so many options for you, as you know. Just employ the one that works for you. We want to avoid any hip turnout, again, any listing, and any sway back or excessive lordosis. Especially as we age, and especially if we have arthritic conditions along the spine, as many of us do, myself included. Good, and we're gonna keep going, a couple more. And let's finish off with this one, guys. We are running out of time. We're gonna go ahead sitting back into our down dog, shell stretch. Go ahead and release, relax, allow the energy to flow freely along the spine without impediment or tension now. I like to imagine butter melting, which is not such a stretch today. I think it seriously could melt right on me right now. All right, coming up now to our proposal or half kneeling position. Please step 1 foot forward. Bring 1 foot forward. From this position now, tightly draw your abdominals in and contract that back glute, and then bring the pelvis forward. So the bottom of the pelvis is going to come forward. So think about your tailbone curling under you and scooping up. Keep your posture tall, proverbial book on the head kind of thing, and just keep pressing that tailbone up and forward. Feel that incredible stretch through the front of the thigh on that back leg and the front of the hip. Beautiful hip flexor stretch. Also stretching one of your major quadricep muscles. And we're going to release out of that. We're going to switch sides, which, by the way, is also a balance challenge. Here we go. So again, posture tall, proverbial book on the head kind of thing. We contract the abdominals and that back gluteal. We curl the tailbone up. We hold it up by virtue of maintaining the contraction of the glute and core muscles. Notice too, the pelvic floor will tighten up and pull up. Elevator will rise. There we go. Just hold that beautiful hip flexor stretch. Now, You can either stand if you like the balance challenge, or you can go ahead and lie face forward on your mat. We're going to be stretching the quadriceps, so bringing the heel toward the buttocks. I'll stand to the side, reaching up, grasp your foot, and hold. When I do this stretch, I like to contract again my glute, my back glute, my abdominal muscles, and try to keep my knees parallel. So I try not to allow my stretching thigh to drift forward of my stance leg. Again, nice and tall. And we'll switch sides. And again, whatever you need to do for balance if you're standing, or you can do this on the floor. Always an option. I like doing it prone on the floor because the floor keeps my leg from drifting forward. As long as I keep my hips down, getting sufficient stretch through the quads and hip flexors as well. Great. Seated variation for our hamstring stretch. You can either sit on your mat or you can sit in your chair. Either one is an option for you. I'll let you select your option. We're going to sit Raggedy Ann style. You can relax your feet, or you can flex your feet with your toes pointed up toward the ceiling or curled back toward you, whatever you can do, whatever those shin muscles allow you to do. Now I'm going to turn, face my right leg, that would be your left, and I'm going to push my hands slightly into the floor with my fingertips, and I'm going to pull my abdominals in and up to get a bit of traction along the spine. From here, I'm going to glide that hip forward along that big leg bone, that femur, that big thigh bone, and I'm going to stretch forward. This will help prevent me from rounding my upper back and compensating in that way to make up for lack of flexibility in the back of my legs. So the hamstring muscles, or you can probably feel that. I don't need to say, right? Great. I'm going to go ahead and use my hands to assist me up. I'm going to sit up nice and tall in my beautiful extended position. I'm going to face now my left leg. It would be your right side. And again, I'm going to pull myself in and up, creating a little bit of traction through the spine. As I bring myself forward, I've got support of my hands on the floor. I'm making sure that I don't round my back, so I'm keeping my shoulder girdle braced, and just again sliding that pelvis along the top of the femur there, holding that stretch for the hamstrings. Super, super good stretch for the back. A bit of the glutes as well. And of course, the back of your thighs. You may also feel it in your calves if your feet are deeply flexed. All right, guys, that is a wrap for today. Actually, I'm remiss. We're going to go ahead and stand up. Shoulder stretch while I talk you down here. All right, shoulder stretch. Hold that stretch. Good. So again, when I do this, I make sure that these arm bones are rolled backward, and I make sure to arch my back, okay? Those are all compensatory mechanisms that you also might find your chin. If you're forward head kind of person, you might find that chin going forward. So you may have to utilize those neck flexors a little bit. Those scalenes. Beautiful. Nice job. You guys did fantastic today. Fingers crossed, prayers said. It's all good. I'm going to go ahead and hit the stop record button.
Thanks, Fran.
Thanks, Fran.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
I'm going,
Fran.
Fran, I'm going fishing, so I won't see you all on Friday. I'll be walking and rowing and casting and not sitting in a car at all.
Well, we will miss you. Hang on, guys. We're still recording. It's not. Oh,